Well, Seth, an opportunity to get back on the ice today after a travel day yesterday and a different kind of practice for the players. How did you see things?
Yeah, I mean, we had a fun day yesterday. We got the chance to come together as a team and watch the Super Bowl. So we had a fun day yesterday. I think we decided that, today kind of a bit of a recovery day. We've been on the road a long time, and we had some fun out there. We put in the work that we needed to, but we had a little fun doing it, and then we'll get back to work tomorrow.
How important is that sort of thing in a long season with all the travel involved and just the toll that it takes to play 76 games?
Yeah, for sure. It's good to have days like this. Like I said, we had a fun day yesterday, and it's kind of nice. It's just a little more relaxing day today. Like I said, we still went out there and put the work in. We got a good sweat in, but at the same time, we're also getting our energy levels back up.
I noticed you spent a little bit of extra time out there working on some shooting. Is that just part of your regular maintenance?
Yeah, I usually after practice either work on some shots or rims or something like that. It's just my way trying to stay focused every day because sometimes if you let it slip, it carries into games and stuff like that. So just try and stay sharp.
Do you think you set a bit of an example for the younger players too with those sorts of habits?
Yeah, like I said, that's just my daily routine, but maybe I am setting an example for guys. Maybe they should go out there and do a little extra work, but at the same time, that's just my routine. That's what I like to do, and I just try and get better every day.
Let's look back on the weekend games and the two games so far since you got back from the break. A good contest in Milwaukee. You come back, you get a win in that game. The guys pumped up. And then you go into Chicago and play a really tough Wolves team on Saturday night. Kind of two different games, but how did you read it?
Yeah, it's always tough after having 4 days off, without skating and guys coming in, flying in from all over the place. Then you got to come back, regroup, and play against Milwaukee. And I thought we played a decent game. We got the result we wanted, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. In Chicago, we didn't play our best game, and we know we didn't. But it's nice we got 3 days here in Grand Rapids to regroup, and we owe these guys for the last overtime loss we had against them.
What do you do as a team to make sure confidence stays in the right place? Because you've had so many good results since the holiday break, but it could be disappointing to lose a game like you did in Chicago. So how do you keep yourselves as a team in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about not getting too high, not getting too low. So, when we went on that streak, I think one of the main reasons why we were doing so good is we were keeping it simple and we were doing the things right. We weren't getting too high. We weren't getting too confident out there making all these fancy plays. We were sticking to the system. It was working. And we got away from it at the tail end there in Milwaukee, and then we regrouped when we came back. Obviously, like I said, we didn't have the best game in Chicago, but I'm confident that we're going to regroup here and we're going to get back on track.
Eric Dubois talked about the Chicago game. He said speed was a factor. The Wolves really had some speed. It made it tough on some of the members of the forward group. Others with more experience maybe were able to adjust to it. What did you see in terms of your ability as veteran players like yourself and Logan Shaw, maybe guys on the other line ahead of you as well, just to be able to adapt to a team like Chicago and make it as tough as you could into the third?
Yeah, they're a good team. They play with a lot of skill, so they like playing with speed and like making their plays up the ice. So, I think for us, it's just attention to detail. When we're playing against them in the D zone and transitioning, because even though they're an older team and more experienced over there, we still have the skill here, and we feel we're confident that we can play with them. But it's just a matter of going out there and doing it rather than talking about it.
Well, I hate to talk about it, but it's the elephant in the room, the streak you've got going. Nobody else has put together one like it this year in the American Hockey League. Is there anything that you do? I mean, you'd like to have points on every game you play. So is there anything you do when you're in a streak to maybe not think about the fact that you're in a streak and just play hockey?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it here and there, but at the end of the day, I think what's making me successful is, we're worrying about the team. We're putting the team ahead of everybody's putting the team ahead of themselves, and with that comes success with yourself. So at the end of the day, as long as we're winning, I'm happy.
One of the things the coaches talked about coming out of the holiday break was some chemistry developing, some consistency to the lines. You've had a lot of reps now with Logan Shaw, both 5-5 and on the power play. What do you see in his game? How does it work with your game?
Yeah, I mean, he's a pure shooter, so I like to handle the puck. I like to skate the puck up the ice and make my play, and he's always in a good position to get a quick release shot off, and most of the time it's a good shot, so that's why I like playing with him, and we're starting to adapt and figure out where each other are at certain points in the game and certain circumstances on the ice. So, it takes a while, but, I'm glad it's starting to happen now.
And we've seen some consistent production from the power play as well. What does that mean to this team when goals are sometimes hard to come by 5-on-5?
Yeah, it's tough in this league. If you want to win a lot of games, it's going to come down to your penalty kill and your power play. So our penalty kill has been great all year. Our power plays had some highs and lows, but we're starting to get a little more consistent. And if we want to make a push here for the playoffs and go far in the playoffs, power play is going to be huge.
You're up against Grand Rapids here, and you had a great game here as a team not too long ago. A tight game, seemed like a playoff game almost, that you lost in overtime. Does that do anything to drive you heading into the rematch?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, throughout this whole streak that we've put together with our homestand wins and everything like that, one of our best games was probably that Grand Rapids game. Even though we didn't get the result we wanted, we played a really good game. We played a full 60. 3-on-3, anything can happen. But at the same time, I think guys are a little bothered by that still because we played such a good game, so we want to know these guys.